it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're zooming in and focusing in on a really, I guess, heartfelt question that we received into the channel today, which is a holiday, and that is really that this person needs help, that she feels that this individual, this narcissist, who she's calling a narcissist, is kind of destroying her. Not kind of, but is. And so it's really for a couple of different topics that I want to zoom in and focus in on. And that is really the specific situation when you are feeling engulfed, you are feeling enmeshed, you're feeling like you are merely an extension of this toxic person versus being your own person. This person has you so diluted, they're energetically attached to you in such a way that their needs become predominantly your reality. Their opinion becomes your reality. Their aggression, their emotional assessment becomes your reality, and you're not able to think straight, you're not able to feel straight, you're not able to resonate at a higher energy level, you're not able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Basically, you know, you're just filled with emotions, rage, feeling lost, feeling confused. So really that is the focus that I want to really address here on the video, is really how to get out alive, how to get your thinking on track, and how to begin to feel okay again, really in healing through the wounds, because that is part of the issue, is that you know, so much of your encounter then becomes about trying to please them or resolve things within your own mind when you don't have another individual really who understands you, who understands what gaslighting is, who understands what brainwashing is, who understands what personality disorder feels like on the other end of being kind of the receiving end of being lied to, of being treated, mistreated, emotionally abused. So really it is very difficult, because oftentimes if you try to speak with the everyday person about this, they'll just basically tell you to shrug it off and get over it. You know, they don't understand the in-depth imprinting and the emotional hurt. It's not just, you know, a typical breakup. Usually there's a lot of betrayal, lying, and a lot of brainwashing going on, where there's a lot of indirect persuasion. And it is most important, the main thing you can do to heal at this stage in the game, when it's very raw, is to recognize the indirect persuasion that has taken place. In other words, all the little seeds that were planted in you that got you to violate against yourself. So basically you became lost, you became confused, you put this person in an assessment above you. In other words, their truth became your truth, even though it might have not felt right. You thought that in the name of love or stretching yourself or something of that nature, that you had then gone above and beyond for this person, but you did not look at what you were on the receiving end of. So that is really, you know, part of the issue, is that oftentimes people have laid waste their own happiness for this other individual, and they have become kind of a illuminating figure over them rather than themselves having grounds or say or speak in the relationship. And you oftentimes feel like you cannot overcome the hurt. So it is, yes, I understand the hurt of this relationship. I understand how real and how serious it is, and you need to know what to focus on. And number one you can focus on is that of non-attachment. Not being attached to this person, not being attached to the fear, and not being driven by the fear or that sort of being targeted experience. Letting go of it. So, you know, we can feel hurt, we can feel that it was unfair, but there is a way out. There is an answer, there is a solution. And that is to realize that oftentimes the narcissist is not able to engage in love and validation with another person. They are just not capable. They don't have the machinery within. They don't have the neurochemistry. They don't have the wiring. They are, you know, wired to have a different experience of life, that which is not positive for you. That's why your life has gone weak. That is why you've had to try so hard. That's why you've had to force the relationship. And it's just acknowledging the fact that, okay, that you have every right to happiness, health, being joyful, being happy, being fulfilled, regardless of what this person does or says. So you need to keep that in the privacy of your own consciousness, your spirit, your sort of giving yourself permission to have that, and realize that then it's kind of, think of this as, okay, this is my personal wake-up call. This is time for me to get on my feet and begin to make decisions, and make decisions you must. Begin to realize that the world is full of choices, and you can make positive, orderly direction thoughts and choices despite all the emotions that have engulfed you. So the feelings, always remember that the feelings that you are encountering are because there's so many different thoughts that have created that feeling. So the feeling, if you look at the cause, that feeling is because there's so many different thoughts which are keeping that experience in place for you. So begin to let go of, as we were discussing earlier today, the NOD thoughts, the negative orderly direction. I'm not good enough. I'm abandoned. Nobody loves me. Nobody, is showing me the love. No one is validating me. Begin to let go of those feelings and begin to say, okay, I've now realized that those negative thoughts have created this negative feeling within me, and I'm just going to release it and let it go. And I'm now going to engage in more positive, orderly direction, or pod thoughts. So realize that your thoughts are what is kind of getting fragmented. And yes, it is a terrible thing to, being felt like you don't have the right to your own reality. Those are the wrong messages that a narcissist and a psychopath will drill into other people, is that you don't have the right to your happiness. You don't have the intelligence, you don't have the looks, you don't have the this, you don't have the that, you don't have the weak, the strength. All those unhappy thoughts will make you go weak. Do you see how they're creating, through their, all the wrong messages, they're creating a mess with which they can say, look how messed up you are. They are trying to create that. So the number one solution is to detach and not become attached, and not pay so much heed or so much attention to that negative projection, and really what we call the displacement. Get out of the way. If getting out of the way means, becoming, having some time for yourself, then engage in that. Getting away from the noise, the chaos, the engineered chaos that oftentimes these people will create. And do not feel like it's destroying you. Just remember that you are in the presence of someone who is destructive. So realize that there are destructive and there are constructive. The positive in life will always make you go strong. It'll make you stand up with dignity. It'll help you resonate on all your energetic levels. Those people who are destructive, or who are, in a pathological sense of personality disorder, which are extremely selfish, those people will oftentimes make others go weak in their presence. So realize that when it's going on, and identify that, and that is the cause, and begin to get some space between you and them, and begin to get a handle on your thoughts, and your emotions will follow. Begin to focus on what makes you healthy and happy. And it sounds very simple, but yet it is true. Get out a pen and paper and begin to have a place, a quiet reservoir where you can go and focus and be at one with your thoughts, and be at one then with your feelings, and then the solutions will start to come, much as what we discuss on the recovery journal. But remember that you have the solutions, you have your desires, you have every right to be at peace and to get away from the perpetual hurt. And if those are, and if it's in a whole family, then it's very important to, I guess I'm going to just say follow the next video, because that's another question which we're getting in a lot here at the Peace and Harmony channel, is that what to do if really you're surrounded by this on a continual chronic basis. How do you really deal, and how do you kind of get beyond the coping into the real enjoying, regardless of how these people are, or how they treat, or this talk that they engage in, or their behaviors and the games that they play. It is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.